What is happening, y'all? Cowboy here, and welcome to my Glintstone Witch build. Now, this is actually a build from the base Elden Ring that I have scaled up to 200. Still incredibly strong. This is both a fantastic build in PvE and PvP. Basically pulls in the best that, in my opinion, the mage class has to offer, while not being too heavily reliant on gimmicks like Comet Azure, even though we could go to that if we wanted to. So to jump on and talk about how we have updated this build, we are at RL 200, Vigor's up at 60, Mine we can take all the way up to 42 now, which is just fantastic for prolonged casting. Endurance 25 is more than enough to get through, 16 Strength to meet weapon requirements, 40 Dex, which that with Radigan Icon will put us up at the casting, the cap, because we're going to get virtual dexterity from Radigan Icon. Intelligence obviously all the way up at 80, and then Faith and Arcane are left at base. Now to talk about the equipment for the build, the fashion, as I'm sure many people are curious, Spellblade's Pointed Hat, which, fun fact, this actually gives us a small boost to Glintstone as well. Millennia's Armor Altered, Millennia's Gauntlet, and then Bullgoat Greaves. And this actually ends up working out pretty well. We're up at 63 poise, but the fashion on this is just fantastic. Big fan of how this looks. Obviously, you could poise things up more with this build. We have some extra stamina, but this was very much a fashion-oriented build. Now, as for casting, Carrion Regal Scepter is going to be our main go-to at 373. You could potentially work with the Lusats in PvP, just because, you know, you're going to be respawning, but keep in mind the 50% increase to FP consumption. If you're doing PvE, a Staff of Loss in your offhand to help boost Night Comet is, of course, nice. And if you're really trying to just be cheesy and nuke in the arena, Meteorite Staff to help further the potential of Gravitational Missile is also a potential setup there. We have a Parry Shield on, and then for our main weapons, my two go-tos are Clayman's Magic Harpoons, one with Glintstone Pebble, one with Ice Spear for popping shields, Glintstone Pebble for just general fights. It comes out really fast. We have a nice follow-up on that, even though it isn't confirmed anymore. Some other choices that'll work fantastic here, Dark Moon Greatsword, we even have the strength requirement to one-hand it, Wing of Estelle, obviously fantastic. Cold Milady also does pretty well with our stat spread, and then obviously, you know, stuff like Moonveil, Meteoric Ore, even Starline Sword if you wanted, all those are going to work in fine. I like to keep a cold backhand blade here as a backup in case things get a little spicy. Noble's Magic of Stock is here for parrying. Of course, Magic Miser Cord if you want to dump out a fat riposte. And that's going to be it. I mean, obviously, you could pull in more int weapons. You know, Chilling Perfume Bottle also would work pretty well with this stat spread. But this is just it's a really fun int build at the end of the day. So we're going to go Godfrey Icon for when we are charging, Radican for the fast ones, Graven Mass to boost the potency even further, and then for PvP I typically go Bullgoats. However, if you're doing PvE, you could swap in something like Shard of Alexander, you could swap in Green Turtle, you know, a bunch of different things that you could potentially use with this build. Now, let's talk about the big thing, spells. Spells are the lifeblood of sorcerers, and we have quite a few on, and some of these right now, this is very much my PvP setup, but I'll be talking about PvE choices as well. So Miriam's Vanishing, this is fantastic to vanish into moves. I really like vanishing into Adulas. I find that a lot of people either get hit by Adulas or they'll roll away and they'll get hit by the wave. So just to show off how that would work, the idea here is we just vanish and then we catch them with one of those. Works quite well. Really big fan of that. You could also move in like a Hammer of Haima or something. You could vanish into other casts. There's a bunch of different things you can do. Just the point is Miriam's Vanishing is actually really useful in PvP. You shouldn't sleep on it. Star Shower, still one of the best PvP spells in my opinion. I know a lot of people are a bigger fan of Stars of Ruin. I think the FP cost makes Star Shower worth it a little bit more, and the pattern, I personally find Star Shower to be more consistent with its hits. Swift Glintstone Shard as well as Comet. The idea here is when we're working people down, Star Shower into a Swift Glintstone, you're going to get a couple hundred damage out. Comet is mainly there to catch people unaware, but in terms of just our raw nuke potential to speed to FP, it's still going to be fantastic value. Gravitational Missile is a fantastic tool to get people off of us. This thing has a huge AoE. Now this might get patched, but for those that don't know, if you just aim this towards the ground unlocked, it'll immediately detonate it. And so what's so nice there is we can use that when people are pressuring us to get them off, or use it to get people off of teammates. Obviously, Carrion Slicer and Carrion Piercer, both kind of just staples of PvE and PvP content in general. You know, you can stab people through walls with Carrion Piercer, and Carrion Slicer is one of the best damage to FP ratio spells in the entire game. Lastly, I have on a Ranni's Dark Moon. Now, I've had a lot of people ask why I use Ranni's Moon instead of Renala's Moon. Ranni's Moon, on top of the potential to apply Frostbite, which is going to increase damage taken by 20%, it also does a magical debuff to enemies increasing all magic damage they're going to be taking by, I believe it's 12% for 1 minute. So the point is, because this is a pure spell-oriented build, I value that debuff more than I value the extra raw damage I would get from the other moon. And I'm talking about some other skills here. From a PvE perspective, Shard Spiral is amazing. This thing will nuke big bosses, it'll nuke furnace golems, anything that has a large frame, Shard Spiral will tear apart. For just general progression, Glintstone Arc is going to sweep most content. It's fast, it has a good AoE, this can very comfortably clear out entire zones. Cannon of Haima, another one that's really fun. This is going to be a huge AoE when charged up. Good one for PvE. Terra Magica, also fantastic. You put this down, you stand in it, you use Comet Azure, things go boom. Pretty straightforward. Glintblade and Glintblade Trio, there's some usage for this in PvP, but the more I played with it, the more I found that it was kind of inconsistent compared to the Star Shower Swift Glintstone combo, so I ended up dropping it off. Loretta's Mastery, obviously massive long-range nuke, just keep in mind kind of situational. Now, Rolana's Twin Moons, I actually really like this spell. In PvP, it's very hard to get this off because people are just going to stagger you, but this does have a 3-shot pattern, and it can be pretty devastating. The GOAT of PvE, Night Comet. Now, Night Comet will do less damage than Comet, but keep in mind, Comet is going to be 24 FP compared to the 21 FP, which is a small difference, but tangible. But the big thing is that enemies don't know how to react to Night Comet. Because Night Comet is considered an invisibility sorcery, enemies just don't pick up on the aggro of it, whereas regular comets, they're going to try and roll. Enemies will just sit there and take Night Comets to the face. So in terms of PvE progression, this is arguably the best spell in the entire game. You know, I ended up beating Radahn with this, going through the DLC, so it has the damage potential to take you all the way to the end. The damage is fantastic, it has a charge, and like I said, enemies just don't know how to deal with it. If you're going up against other casters, Eternal Darkness is actually another really, really fun spell. You throw this up and it just vacuums spells into it, so more of a defensive option. Collapsing Stars, this is another one that I'm still a really big fan of, just because I find people tend to struggle avoiding this, but the damage isn't all that good, so a little bit more situational, but worth calling out. Blades of Stone, I find some potential with this one for PvE. I would only use this charge. The charge is going to do multiple hits with the rocks, which can be decent, but for the most part, I think there's just other options available. And then Meteorite of Estelle, kind of in the same bucket as our Comet Azure. There's a couple instances where you can use this and get some serious nuke potential out, but for the most part, it's going to be very, very unique use cases. Glintstone Nail, this is actually very powerful. At only 10 FP, the fact that we can charge this is a excellent quick cast. So for like PvE, this is something that I would put in place of Swift Glintstone Shard. Just solid damage on that. Solid chase potential as well, also with Glintstone Nail. So both of these you could work in PvP. I found that I tend to work better going for, you know, faster casts than relying on the tracking of the nails. But these are both pretty nice. Glintstone Nails, especially with the charge, you get some solid damage on it. Fleeting Microcosm is a really cool spell. Unfortunately, I think it's kind of hard to actually catch enemies with this because, you know, it goes up, you get the initial pop, and then it pops again. I think in PvE there's some potential. In PvP, people just run away from it. And then Cherishing Fingers, this is actually a decent defensive spell, so kind of in the same book as Eternal Darkness. The idea with this is, as you can see, wards all manner projectiles, whether magical or physical in nature, away from the caster. Charging increases potency. The basic idea on this is if people are rushing you down, you pop this. If they get too close, it's going to deal some damage, but mainly it's there as a protection option. There's quite a few things that can protect against. But that's going to be my main spell loadout. You know, I could go like kill the dragon or something, but I don't think anybody needs to know how a mage works in PvP. It's pretty straightforward. Flask of Wondrous Physic, I still like Cerulean Hidden Tear, even despite the nerf, especially in Arena, just because it's going to give us a small window where we can really nuke right at the start of a fight. And then Magic Shroud and Cracked Tear, I think, is a fantastic supplement to that. So, with all that being said, let's get into some Arena matches, and we'll show you what the Glintstone Witch can do. So I know I said I wasn't going to do any PvE, but I figured, you know, I left this guy alive in the Let's Play, and it'd be kind of cool just to show what you can do with the Night Comet, how I mentioned that enemies just don't know how to deal with it, so... You can see, like, the biggest factor limiting us right now is our own stamina for casting. You can see when it's coming at them, enemies just don't know what to do, because it's considered an invisibility spell. So, yeah, for PvE, like Night Comet, you're just going to trounce all the content. Right. So, right at the start of a match, I like to try and get a Ronnie's Dark Moon out. Sometimes two, depending on who is good at dodging, because occasionally you'll get somebody that just, they're not ready for it. Like that. So those are those little swift glintstones that come out real quick. Oh, he's got some spell parries. Managed to roll that. Hang on, we're gonna go up since they're getting on top of our dude. We're gonna nothing. Oh, I should have gone for the... We got it. We're good. We're good still. I'll go ahead and pop some crab. He's distracted. Hit him with the moon. Oh, somebody got mooned. Got him with the gravitational. Oh, you're not dead? They never expect it. Haven't seen that spell in a while. Some distance here. Are they coming in? Where are they coming in? Nope. Oh, taking that to the face. Oh, I spell parried it a little bit late. That's okay. I need my flashback. Ooh, man. Counting too much on that attack there, buddy. Here comes the moon. Only parried part of it. Also great to get bubbles down. Right through the ass. The moon's coming. Damn, he got the quick follow-up. My turn. It's crazy how many people sleep on Swift Glintstone. It's just comes out so fast. That was an absolutely brutal first match. You gotta hit him with the fancy spin when you win. You know, don't teabag, don't point down, just give him the fancy spin. And on the note of Night Comet in PvP, you can certainly use it. I just find that, you know, for the most part, people, if they're gonna get hit by one of those spells, we might as well hit them with something big. We might as well just hit with regular Comet, because regular Comet is going to hit harder. Let me take that off and put on, where's it at? What do I have on here? I don't know what this dude's doing. Is he just lagging or is he just waiting? No, he's lagging. Doing a little blood flame spellblade? Yeah, I don't think that's gonna block the moon, I'm gonna be honest with you. It did? Well, damn. It's got that debuff, though. Alright, I don't think I have the juice to get that off. No, I can. Hang on. Ah, ran in too soon. Get out of here. Oh! I haven't seen one of those in a while. Like running as default, man. It's kind of funny, though. As for the FP regen talisman, you certainly could use it, but to be honest, I think the... I don't know. Personally, I don't think FP regen works that well for actual casters. I think it is more of a good use for, like, more like melee, you know, where you're not constantly pumping through your FP. Because if you're pumping FP, you're really going to just have to, you need spells to get that up. That's a big hit. Just getting caught right in the ass with those. Damn, bro, just let it end. It's over. 30 seconds. What do? We hit him with the fancy twirl. He's out there throwing a point down. Right, we got another one. Let's go ahead and get a little buffed up material. And, oh, that was the guy on my team last time. Do you like moons? Oh god. It was a little closer than I thought. Oh god, from behind. Take that. Take that. There we go. Thank you for the pierce. I'm coming, Umbra. Hang on. Here comes the moon. Oh, he did a jump. Good jump. Oh. Got caught up trying to get the finish. Got smacked. Finally, though, we got a match. Keep rolling, fatty. I'm dead. Ah. Yeah, Gravitas is, I don't know. Sometimes you can get some good pops with it, other times it falls off hard. Stop that. Man, that was scary. Dude was mid animation and it still looked like that was gonna hit. Damn! Okay, thickums. Straight poising through the Adulas. That's dangerous. I think we might have a loss here. A little bit of lag. There we go. All right, we can finally reestablish. Come on, I need like one more hit without dying. Oh, he dodged it. GG. I think it's over. Pretty sure we lost this, but I'm still gonna throw it out. Damn, defeat. GG's though. I think I got some pretty good hits. It's rare you find someone that's gonna poise through a duelist. That was that threw me off for a second for sure. But looking at the time, we're pretty good. We're at like 25 minutes, but you know, like I said, you're able to hold your own in pretty much every showcase. The one match we lost, we had a teammate that was only using Millennius and getting blown up. So I think we did pretty good, all things considered. But yeah, you know, decent weapon variety here, decent spell variety. And obviously, as you saw, PvE content is just going to get absolutely trounced. So mages are definitely alive and well. But either way, thanks for watching, and I'll catch y'all next time.